Excellent words. You know, I think we've made it clear when a member of the military is unfairly abused, we are all abused. We're all dishonored. And this is not a Democratic issue. This is not a Republican issue. This is an American issue. And I am so pleased to yield the floor to one of our great Americans, an Air Force veteran who serves on our Armed Services Committee from Nebraska, Representative Don Bacon.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of this bipartisan effort to protect victims of non-consensual sharing of intimate media in the armed forces and hold those who engage in this dishonorable practice accountable under the military law. And this is a bipartisan effort, and I appreciate that. And it should be. This is a terrible thing that we have to fix. I'm a 5-time commander. I was on the front lines of fighting this as a commander. Court-martialed those who abused others, probably did so, and was recognized as having the best sexual assault response program in the Air Force back in 2008 and 2009. I also am proud to stand here in this bipartisan effort as a husband, a father of a daughter, and a grandfather of 3 little granddaughters. And we got to do better, and we stand in this together to make a difference. Last month, we observed Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and I spoke to this body on the obligation we share as elected leaders to support those who have been victims of sexual violence and exploitation. It is therefore fitting that we continue this campaign by turning our good words into legislative action. And I want to thank my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for inviting me to speak on this subject. As members of the armed forces, we're taught the values of honor, integrity, loyalty to the Constitution, to our flag, and to the republic for which it stands. From our earliest days in uniform, we were also imbued with the unbreakable commitment and trust in each other as warriors and teammates. These are not abstract concepts or quaint notions of a bygone age. Rather, they are the foundation of combat readiness and competence under fire. Mr. Speaker, I submit these ideals are the very essence of our strength of arms as a nation. This is why when some in our midst betray this trust and dishonor our code, the consequences go far beyond an individual act of depravity. It strikes at the heart of our core values and threatens the foundation of our combat readiness. And when the victims of these crimes perceive they are condoned by the very institution they serve, the damage is greater still. That is why Congress has an obligation to act and to remove any doubt that those who traffic in intimate pictures of their teammates and wrongfully share them not only violate the bonds of human decency, but are breaking the law. That's why I am proud to stand in a bipartisan effort and also with Representative McSally and colleagues on both sides of the aisle as an original co-sponsor of H.R. 2052, the Private Act, to amend the Uniform Code of Military Justice to prohibit the wrongful broadcast of intimate visual images. This is important to change the UCMJ and will protect the victims of this crime, hold those who engage in these acts accountable, and make absolutely clear, zero doubt, to every member of the armed forces that such conduct is unacceptable and will be prosecuted under the law. Those of us in the House who have served in the uniform and have been entrusted with the responsibility of command know firsthand the importance of discipline, adherence to standards, and of creating a climate of mutual trust that treats all members with dignity, fairness, and respect. For those of us who have fought to enforce our laws and protect the victims of all forms of sexual assault and exploitation in the military, this is not just what's right, it's also very personal. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to stand with my fellow members of Congress on both sides of the aisle in support of this important legislation. It's important for our military. It's important for our culture. It's important for the defense of our country. And I thank you for those who are leading the effort tonight. And I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, Representative Bacon, first of all, for your service to our country and from speaking to your heart.